Good evening and welcome to our city. I'm Laura Legis and I'm filling in tonight for Diana Broderson. Mayor Diana Broderson was not able to make it tonight, so I'm excited to have the opportunity to fill in for her. And we have several guests with us as always, and we're excited about bringing in Jenny Pates with Writing for Success. And before Jenny comes on with us, I do want to just hash out about a couple things that went on this past week. We had coffee with the mayor. Mayor Diana had a great group of people join her, along with the Riverbend neighbors of the South End area joined her at Ellie's Tea and Coffee this past Saturday. And I have to say, Muscatine's looking beautiful for the holidays, Christmas decorations everywhere, lights, and the season is very bright. So to get us started, we are going to join right on in here. We have Jenny Pates with Writing for Success, a therapeutic writing group. And I am excited to have Jenny with us. Welcome.
Yep, glad to be here.
So Jenny, give us a little bit of background of what your group is.
Okay, well, I retired from teaching a few years ago and also did Crystal Fowler. We were both fifth grade teachers, and we were both highly involved in horses also. So we took our two passions of teaching and horses and combined it for the therapeutic horseback riding program. We're very fortunate to have the Muscatine Agricultural Learning Center to hold the program at. We don't have to have our own farm. And so it's a heated facility, so we're able to board our horses out there and teach in the heated arena. We serve any kind of young person, 4 years old, all the way up to 60-some years old, some of our oldest ones, with therapeutic horseback riding. And it can be, they have some kind of limitation. It can be cognitive, it can be physical, it can be emotional. And through the riding and caring for the horses, we work to, help them with their limitation. We have 4 head of horses out there that we keep. We are all PATH certified instructors. So there's 4 instructors, myself, Crystal Fowler, Emily Bunn, and Cindy Dirks.
Okay, so what got you excited to do this program?
Just as I said, the passion of horses and sharing my love of horses and trying to help, with teaching. I had special needs students in my room, and whenever you bring an animal into it, you're going to see a benefit. And especially with the movement of the horse, if it's a physical, they can feel the movement of the horse, helps physically with muscle tone. Sometimes with some of our students for listening, they know that they have to be cooperative, they have to listen well to be able to get the horse to communicate with the horse.
So your program's been in place for the past 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And how many students have you had come through your program?
We usually average around 30 students each session. We have 2 6-week sessions in the fall and 2 6-week sessions in the spring. And then we take the summer off. The first year we started, we taught in the summer and it was so hot and such, so we found out it worked better to have a spring fall.
A little break in there.
Yep.
And then you mentioned did you say you had 4 horses, correct?
Yes, we have 4 horses. I think we're going to go up to 5 now to rotate them one in and out. To get a horse that's very cooperative with the younger riders and with the special needs. A lot of times they're older horses, so sometimes we have health issues. So it's nice if one is not feeling very well all day that we can sub one in. So,
sure,
yeah.
absolutely. So now the horses, are those horses that have been donated to your program, or
we're
have you
very
purchased
fortunate
them?
that I had one of my own that we use. We have Ed Meinert that works for the school system. He has a Morgan that we use. Sarah Healy has a horse that we use. Katie Schauffeld. So it's really nice that we can use the horses for our sessions, and then they go home during the summer. So,
Great. And the Ag Center is a wonderful, it's really a huge gift to the community.
Yes.
Because we have our FFA students using it, we have the 4-H programs using it, we've got lots of different programs, and now your program is able to use it.
Yes.
And it's got a beautiful area for that.
Yes.
Do you do most of the therapy riding inside, or do you
Yes,
ever
there's
go
a
out?
heated indoor arena, and then there's also an outdoor arena, and they love it when they can go out in the nice weather and go for a walk also, after their riding lesson. So, you know, so our lessons always consist of some kind of exercises on the horse, and then we go into skills, and then we usually end on some kind of a game. So
Oh, great,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And how long are their sessions usually?
usually 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, but the hour includes, you know, getting on and off. And and then we also have, you know, some of our younger riders, we go for just half an hour.
Okay.
We were very excited to get a new therapeutic saddle this year that actually has braces on the front and the back. And one of our little riders with cerebral palsy, who was, you know, really not able to even hold himself up, is riding now, sitting up, holding onto the handle in front, works to strengthen his legs down. And
Well, that's an
it is.
exciting
It was very
opportunity.
exciting this year to get that started. Yep.
Bringing opportunities for
Yeah.
so many that, again, like you said, it might be where it's a physical.
Could be just a
or-
physical.
or-
It could be, we are very fortunate to have the school system bring some students out on Wednesday morning. We have elementary, middle school, and high school students. And some of our students, you know, for behavior issues, and we've heard at school they can sometimes be a handful. But when they get on that horse, they know they need to communicate and hold.
Yeah.
And
It's a learning tool for them.
Yes.
And that maybe they can take that from out in the arena with the horse from the lesson to actually being back out at the school.
Yep.
Into their school day.
Yes.
And even at home,
Yep.
which is how we can take those life lessons.
I know. I was talking to one mom that was having an issue at home, and she said, "Where's that horse when I need it?" So it really hopefully carries on and has
Yeah.
benefits. And
Well, that's great though,
I know.
because I mean, that's an exciting opportunity for our area. And again, it's a still fairly new program.
yes, we're only 4 years, and as I said, we teach usually 3 to 4 days during the week, and the evenings, and then Wednesday mornings. So, and really that's enough for horses and instructors both. So, but the thing that makes our program go is our volunteers. If we did not have our volunteers, we wouldn't have a program. Because some of our riders need 2 sidewalkers, and they also need someone leading the horse. And we've had many riders that have graduated up to being independent riders, but a lot of them need, you're talking 3 people per horse. We're very fortunate to have people help us with the chores and the care of the horses, and days that we're not teaching, come in and get the horses out and exercise them.
Well, that's
So-
great. I mean, in every program, our community, we have a very generous community in the lines of programming, donations, and volunteerism.
Yes, yeah.
And volunteering just makes all of our big programs happen in our community. And I could only imagine how many you need when you're telling me, you need almost 3 people.
12 people per class sometimes,
Yeah.
and that doesn't include the ones that come in and help with the chores and the care of the horses.
And taking care of everything and keeping
Yep.
things going. So your program with volunteers, but I'm sure your program does have some cost and needs along the way. And I know you've gotten some grants with the Community Foundation.
Yes, we're very fortunate with Muscatine Charities, Community Foundation. We had some beginning startup grants with Monsanto Bear and with Han, and so Muscatine Charities is supportive every year. Jay and Kathy Huff actually pay our horse rent every year, and so we have some ongoing sponsors that keep us going. We do a lot of scholarships. We do have people that ride under their insurance, their physical therapy, but we have a lot that we just have under scholarships also.
And what, if someone was interested in bringing someone to your program, what is the criteria? I mean, I know what the criteria is, but what do they need to do? What do they need to do to
They need
see
to
if they can
just
get involved?
email me at writingforsuccess@mofclink.com. We also have a Facebook page, so either one of those to communicate, and then as soon as we can get their name and email, then off we go. They can also always stop out and visit us also, because we're at the Ag Center.
Just check it out and
Yes.
see. What are your hours when you're out there?
Well, we're always doing chores morning and afternoon, but Monday and Tuesday nights are when we teach, usually, and Wednesday mornings. Yeah. So, but writingforsuccess@mocklink.com is the best way.
Wonderful. So somebody could email you, kind of find out a little bit more about it. find out what is the normal, is it the fee structure if someone wanted to do this?
The fee, if they do pay just outright, is $180 for the 6-week session, so it's $30 for the hour-long lesson. Yeah. But as I said, we have scholarships, and we work a lot with insurance brokers and stuff.
Well, that's wonderful, because you understand the benefits, and this is something that you understand insurance, obviously, because to be able to work with that.
Luckily, some moms have helped me with that, yes.
Oh, my goodness, insurance.
Ongoing.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a whole other, subject in another time for some other show. But it is a great opportunity in our community. So if there's one thing that you want everyone to know that we haven't covered, you've covered a lot of things here, Jenny, about your program, but what's one thing that, tell me a great success story. You've shared bits and pieces.
Our little guy, our little 6-year-old, I think is the best success story with his cerebral palsy, because he's able to sit up now and ride. And I think some of our behavior students, you know, that come in with known really issues, and very entertaining during class sometimes. You know, sometimes there's some like words that come out that maybe shouldn't, you know. Oh my gosh. And just the friendships we made through the volunteers. And we have one volunteer that came on board with us that said we probably helped him out as much as he's helping us out, and at a time in his life. So it's more rewards. A lot of rewards. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, as you gear into your 5th year, it sounds to me, if you have some people who've been with you along the way, you might want to check out putting them into the Iowa Governor's Volunteer of the Year Award program.
Oh yes, that would be good.
Because once they hit the 5-year mark, you can apply
That's a
for
good
that.
idea.
Definitely would be a great thing for
Yes,
for them.
we have some that would definitely
fit that.
Fit that. Yep.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I know we've had some images showing. Was there any particular
We've had some
images?
great images going up there. One is quite a few of them were our fall party, and we put the horses into costume. The volunteers are in costume. My friend brings the Crystal Fowler, one of the instructors, brings in her mini horses, and we put costumes on those, and we have a great turnout from the community. So yeah, there's Crystal driving her minis. She has her mini horses she brings in.
And they allow that? I couldn't even get a Halloween costume on my dog without like getting like bit. And you got the costume on the horse.
We get the costume on the horses. Yep. So we have all different kinds of activities in the arena. And we had a huge turnout this year.
Wonderful.
And then we also have a silent auction at that time. So there's the horses bobbing for apples. We didn't want people bobbing for apples, but the horses did. And there were a couple of them that were very talented at it, and a couple that didn't want anything to do with it. So it was pretty entertaining.
Now, was this open just for your group, or
no, we had it opened, and we had a lot of people from the community come in. So then it's a time to reach some new clients and everything too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this is a great outlet, and it's another way to be able to work with, you know, figuring out what works for someone to get to the next step and work through their challenges and to be successful. So it sounds like it's been a success, and
yes,
you're doing
every
well.
year we're growing just a little bit more, and it just no end to it. So,
no end. All right. Well, is there any last words you want to leave us tonight before we change over to our next thing here?
No, just that we're hope to. One thing we'd like to do though is to bring some veterans on board, and we haven't been able to really make the communication with that. So maybe if somebody hears this, that you know, and it doesn't have to be that they come ride. It can be that they come, you know, help care for the animals, and a lot of times I hear that, you know, you have to have a veteran on board with your, you know, staff to really, for them to seem welcoming at it, you know. So hopefully maybe somebody can pass the word that, hey, we want you to come on board. So
come on board.
Yeah.
Wow, absolutely. And I think they do have a veteran. I totally went blank on her name, but anyway, there is someone who at the county level with the veterans.
Yep. I think they
And-
came out to visit us.
Yeah, and
so.
you know, maybe hopefully she's sharing the word.
Yep.
So
I know they have
and-
a service dog thing out of the
Yeah.
Iowa City, and I think they're competing with us right now. So, but yeah,
Well, you know,
we have a lot
therapy
of
horses, therapy
opportunities.
dogs.
Yes, yeah. So we have a lot of opportunities there. If anyone wants to
Yes.
come on board.
Well, it sounds like it's just growing and growing and growing, and hopefully in another year from now you'll be like, we've had another horse, we've had another session, we have things going.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have the 4 instructors that we can expand,
Yeah.
so we can keep going. It's not such a for one person, so. Yep.
Wonderful. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
on Our City. And like I said, Mayor Broderson had another meeting tonight, and I appreciate you coming in. Right close to the holidays, it's a busy time. So thank you so much for sharing your program.
You're welcome. Yep.
And while we are changing and getting ready for our next guest, I do want to remind everyone that it is with the Christmas time. We do have the Salvation Army that certainly have a lot of red kettles out around town, and we want to make sure that we are hearing those bells ring, which will help our community. The Salvation Army not only provides at Christmas time, they provide all year round with opportunities for our community. With meals are served through the Salvation Army. They have a kids program during the summer, after school program for our children, along with, yes, all of the things that do happen around the holiday time. And thank you so much to our community that have been so generous the last few weeks with donations of food and toys for our families and children in the area. And if you would like to sign up still between now and Christmas Eve, you can do that. Contact the Salvation Army, and they would love to give you a spot to ring the bell. I have my spot still too. There's 2 more spots to go this week for ringing the bell.
That's great.
That's right. That's right. I don't know if it has anything to do with being on the board or not, but I definitely have gotten about 20 hours in this season. So, busy time. Well, we're ready for our next guest, and Dr. Jerry Reeby is with us tonight. Here to talk about
all kinds of things.
school.
We have a lot of things going on. But when you're talking about ringing bells, a couple of years ago, Jody and I did 24 hours straight.
Oh my!
And I'm just going to say that's really more of a young man's game. But it was we had great people showed up with hot chocolate, with soup. People couldn't have been better and more supportive, which is what Muscatine's all about.
Oh, Muscatine is.
It
we
is.
are.
It is.
We are a supportive community. We are.
It really is. Listening, about the therapeutic horse riding, and that is just an example of people in town coming together and saying, this would really help some kids and do some good things for our community. So, once again, Muscatine rises to the occasion.
That's right. They do. When there's a need, we figure it out.
Yeah.
We go together and we get it worked out.
And that's how things get done.
And lots of good things happen, and we're seeing it. And just as with ringing the bell, I must say, as we get into talking about what's going on at the Muscatine School District, the need, the Muskie Locker, all these programs that have kind of just evolved because a teacher probably saw a need or someone in the district, and now we have little avenues to help out where they need to be helped out. You
cannot take into minimize how important it is when kids do not have food security. It's really hard for them to be learning and thinking about a future. And so, I'm just really, I'm really grateful for all the work that's done in so many different parts of our community to make sure that our kids are taken care of. Because you simply cannot be at your best when you're hurting.
No, you cannot, and that's the thing. If we're not meeting those 3 basic needs, we don't have the shelter, we don't have the food, we don't have the clothing, we're not meeting those needs to get to the next step. How do we expect these students to learn?
Exactly.
And if we can't put these things together, then we're never going to get to the next step and see them succeed. So, kind of segue into, that, we've been talking about the big heart that
Muscatine has, but boy, right now there's just a lot of real positive things going on in our community.
There is.
We have some capital improvement projects that we're very excited about.
Yes, I'm excited to hear more about them.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those things. If anybody says, well, nothing happens in Muscatine, they need to visit. We are looking at a new science wing at the high school that's really going to.
My daughter is very
oh,
excited. She's going to miss out because she'll probably graduate by the time you even get it going. But
We're hoping to break ground this spring.
okay, well maybe
And,
next year. Maybe
yeah,
next year she'll get a little taste of it.
Well, you know, I would like to be optimistic, but
Well, we know. I know how construction works.
But you know, to be able to bring really state-of-the-art science labs to our kids and a STEM center, because you know, really, when you look at, especially in our community, the number of jobs, really good jobs, that are waiting for kids, but they do need that science, technology, engineering, math background. They really that is where things are going today. And so we're really excited about this. This is going to be, I think, not only a great educational tool for our kids, but what a great marketing tool for our whole community when folks come to take a look at our high school. And we're not forgetting our elementary students. We are doing a significant renovation at McKinley. And I think for anybody that has had to drop kids off at West or McKinley, some of this renovation will make them happy.
I had Central. I didn't have West, but boy, I've driven by there.
There's you know, there's a lot of traffic in a space of a couple blocks. So we're not only adding on some classrooms, science classrooms, core classrooms, a gym that will really free up space for a lunchroom for our students, because they really that commons ground is just too small at McKinley for that school. But we're also going to be doing some traffic work that will cue the cars as off Bulliam and take a lot of that traffic off Kindler. And we think that will make a big difference for West and for McKinley. And so we're really excited about that.
That is
and I'll
exciting.
tell you, the McKinley teachers who were, and you know, both the McKinley teachers and the science staff really had a lot of input into what these renovations are going to look like and what the new science wing. And they are so excited. They have been so helpful in this process. So we're really excited about what that's going to bring for our community. And then our realignment of grades.
You know, I wanted to talk about that.
Yes.
I kind of got left open air here. You're probably going, oh my gosh, it's not Diana, it's Laura Lee. Just what is she going to talk about?
You know, here's the problem. When you start talking about, let's talk about the good things happening in school, I can talk all night.
You know
so
what? There are good things. I mean, there are good things. There's good things and all that. But let's talk about the realignment, because I know there are some, you know, obviously whenever there's a change, everybody's like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen?
Right.
You know, what are we doing? What's going on?
And you know, we didn't just wake up one morning and say, let's upset the apple cart and see what we can do. We have been really wrestling with three problems for some time. One, an aging building with Central that's going to that has some infrastructure issues. We've also struggled with our middle schools with a 6, 7, 8 configuration. We really felt like our 6th graders were maybe not quite developmentally ready for that much independence that you see in a large middle school. We really felt like if they had another year in the elementary building with a little more of that nurturing, smaller size would be a good thing for them. And we didn't. And the other was we really wanted to try and find a way to consolidate our preschool services and make a better program for our 4-year-olds. So when we looked at those three, we decided, well, really it would make sense to keep the 6th grade in the elementary buildings. And when we have talked to parents about that, they've been, you know, I'm going to say almost universally excited about it. I'm sure there's some folks maybe not, but everyone that I've talked to is really are
Well,
supportive of that.
going to middle school is a scary experience to some, you know, it can be.
It can be.
Because it's
and,
a totally different ballgame.
We looked at some research. There was a fairly significant study done by Duke University looking at the difference between achievement patterns of sixth graders that were in an elementary building versus in a middle school. And there was everything from behavior to attendance to academic achievement seemed to be enhanced when they were left in the elementary building. And given that extra year, and then the other side of that, our 7th and 8th grade, the teachers have worked incredibly hard in the middle school, and they've done everything they possibly can. However, we feel like we could do our kids better if we could focus a building on really preparing them to be prepared for 9th grade. 9th grade is a critical year.
It is a critical year. It goes downhill quick.
If you develop some bad habits in 9th grade, if you fail some courses, if you develop an attendance problem, graduation becomes much iffier. And so we want our 7th grade not a boot camp for high school, but really prepare them to be successful 9th graders. So we're excited about that change. Next year, Central and West will both be in operation with 7th and 8th grade. And then we'll transition to West. And then, probably the question I get asked most of, what's going to happen with the theater and the gym?
Well, you knew that I would, because I'm a little bit softy here to the theater and the music and the auditorium.
Exactly.
And what are we going to do?
And it is a community landmark.
Yeah.
And so we are going to be looking at in the future putting an RFP out for developers. And what we want to do is work out whatever happens is that the theater and the gym, we would like to make sure gets preserved for community use, because that's just really important.
We need that gym too.
We do, and the theater is just. It's a great facility, and it always feels, even for a middle school musical, it feels a little bit like Broadway when you walk in there.
Just a little bit.
At less than half the price.
I know. Well, you knew that you couldn't get out of this conversation because I called you about the sound system once.
Yeah.
But I know they did some rewiring and some things. So
it still needs some. It needs some work.
It needs some work. It needs some upgrading. And depending on what happens.
And I think it will be. It needs the staging. The stage needs new flooring, and lighting can always be helped. The seats are where they're at, but again, what a wonderful facility. So that is certainly a priority that we protect that. And then the other big change is consolidating our 4-year-old program at Colorado. And we're really hopeful for that. We're looking to be able to expand the time that our kids will be in the program, and a longer day, which I think will be easier on some parents. And we're also looking at how can we consolidate some services for parents, so that
that drop-off time to the day to the after school.
Exactly.
It is a challenge.
It is.
I have 2 high schoolers, as you know, Jerry.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I remember those days.
Oh, my kids now are in that stage of where they have kids at that age, and I look at them and I just get tired. I think I'm not sure how you get all that stuff done. So we want to try and figure out some ways that we can be more family friendly. And also, how can we consolidate maybe some community services that could be located there that might be really appropriate for that preschool program?
That would be very helpful.
So we're going to continue working with some community groups and work on that. And we'll obviously continue to work with our community partners at the other preschool providers in the community. And so we're really excited about that. So when you look at next year, there's going to be a lot of change. A lot of things will be going on, but that's what good communities, good school systems do. They keep moving forward. And it's fun to be in Muscatine right now, and you wander around and you look at all the things that are happening.
Yeah, lots of things.
Lots of
things.
and yeah.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Not to cut you off there, Jerry.
No.
Reeby, but I do have a question. Now, you're talking the 4-year-old preschool program.
Yeah.
The preschool program. Now, is the kindergarten going to stay at the elementary schools, or are they going to go to
That's
this
a really
preschool?
good. That's a really good
I've
question.
heard several things with that.
Yeah, the kindergarten will stay in the elementary buildings, and you could make a really good argument that kindergarten and preschool should be together. But the regulations regarding early literacy instruction make it really prohibitive for us to try and do that. And so we'll and also I think it's that's probably a good place for kids to get into their buildings and develop that relationship. But the kindergartens will be in the elementary buildings. The 4-year-old program will be at Colorado, as well as the 3-year-old program for special needs students.
Yeah, I knew that there was also a special needs
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And so we have the school system has put in place a preschool program, but then we also have the private preschools
Yes.
in the areas, and those are going to stay the same.
Yes, correct.
Because I've heard that rumor too, so
Yeah.
we're getting these rumors cleared up
And-
tonight, Dr. Reedy.
Yeah, there's every once in a while a rumor will pop up.
Yeah, well, it
but
happens.
no,
but-
the community needs our partners because there's especially when you're working at preschool, every family has some different needs and different issues that they're looking for. So we certainly want to do our best to be good partners with those.
Oh,
folks.
absolutely. And I've heard great things about the school system's preschool program. My kids were pretty much out of that level. We moved here. They were kindergarten, first grade. And we also have, we have some really great private ones. One of them's
yeah.
long-standing. Ann Hart's run a long-standing
Yes.
program.
Yep.
I was one of Ann's kids way back in the 70s. So yes, she'll be, if she watches, Ann, hello, I talked about you again.
Yeah.
But, so I mean, great things. Those are good things.
Yes.
We're thinking about the future, which when you're thinking about the future, we're thinking about all the things we're doing to prepare these kids when they get to that final year, their senior year, the graduation time, and moving on to the next level. So at the high school, you and I were having a brief conversation before we went
Yeah.
on the air, talking about my experiences with dual enrollment
Yeah.
teaching. I teach government with dual enrollment for Eastern Iowa Community College. And we were talking about how in the Muscatine School District we do these AP classes, preparing our students for college with those. And the enrollment's up in those courses.
They are. About a third of our students are taking AP courses, which we're really proud of. We always remind kids that it's not so much that you're taking that to get college credit, but to be prepared for college. That's probably the most important thing, is that when they take that first class at wherever they go for post-secondary education, that they understand the expectations of that kind of learning environment. So we're really excited about that. The district pays for the AP test, and so
I
that
know,
takes
that's
that.
new.
That is
That's
new. What we
new.
wanted to do is remove the barrier for those kids that come from homes that may not be able to pay the $94 a test.
Yeah, and if you're taking a
And
couple classes.
It adds up, and so we wanted to take that barrier away. Much like paying for the AC, we're one of the few districts in the state that has universal ACT testing for juniors, and we pick up that cost. And again, it removes a barrier. But also, we have a lot of kids in our community that will be the first-time college goers. And I was,
Yep.
in my family, I was a first-time college goer. And if it wouldn't have been for my high school counselor coming to my parents' house and helping them with financial aid and all those kinds, I don't know if I would have ever.
You gotta have a whole.
Oh, you need
you
a.
You have a whole meeting for
Yeah.
FAFSA, and I do paperwork all the time. People, not that I don't know how to do these things, but I was so thankful for the FAFSA night.
I wasn't. I'm not so sure when the youngest graduated from college if I was happier about her graduating or that I would never have to do another FAFSA form. So
don't ever
I
change
understand
anything.
that. So.
my son added another institute he wants to go to, a possibility. So we have 4 different places to possibly go, and I was like, I have to go in and change that form. Oh,
well,
no.
and you know, bringing up the FAFSA, this has been a point of effort on our part to increase the number of kids that complete one. Without a FAFSA form, it's going to be very difficult for kids to get into almost any post-secondary institution. And so we really, we have, working with Aligned Impact Muscatine, we are really working hard to try and provide parents more assistance and get the word out that this is an important thing. Because that's the very first step, is if you don't have the financial means to go to college, you won't be able to go to college.
Well, and they look at, you know, the big picture of things, and, you know, there's lots of opportunities out there. And you don't want to ever feel like one student, just because maybe you don't think you can pay for your child's college. In the cost of that secondary education, I don't know, you know, not everybody's put away money for college. So there's lots of opportunities, lots of scholarships, which is another thing that's starting to come out at the high school. I was looking through.
Well,
so
another great partnership we have with the Community Foundation.
Yes.
And with a donor that has provided some software to manage our scholarships. What a great program that is. And I think we're much more efficient, and it's certainly, I think, a lot easier for our kids than the old paper model where they filled out a million different applications.
I can't wait that we just have one application.
Yes, so my hat's off to the Community Foundation for the work that was done with that.
Yes, and it's made it a lot easier for people to donate. I know my class I graduated in from MHS, we have created a scholarship, so we can.
That's a great idea.
You know, so we can do that. It's a great opportunity, but I know that those are things, and as your kids get older, you think about all the different things that have to be there. And I think MHS is really trying hard, especially to have the counselors and the teachers and other staff just trying to help through the process. And again, the FAFSA night was, believe me, it was wonderful to have somebody go through it with you and go, this we need from your taxes, this we don't need that. I'm like, okay, great. Because that's changed since the last time I've done one of those.
You know, anytime you're doing, you know, that kind of paperwork, it's great to have some assistance, because we all kind of question, what does this for sure mean? And I would agree, our counseling staff at the high school does a great job of working with kids and working with families. So yeah, Muscatine High School is a really good place for kids. And when I look at the teachers that are working with our kids and how much those kids mean to them, I look at the administrators, the principals, assistant principals, how much they care for kids. It is a great system, and it's not that we don't have our challenges, and it's not that we don't have areas that we are working at to get better, and we are working at that, and diligently. But I refuse to take a back seat to anyone. I'd put our school up against anyone.
Well, I know in today's world there's lots of challenges being thrown out in all directions. I mean, like I said, my experience of dual enrollment, which really I've enjoyed it. I'm teaching for 12 weeks. We're almost done. And I'm in a high school setting. So just to get the class started, I kudos all, because there's the attendance, there's all these things, there's all the day-to-day stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, and all of those things. But I think that our people, you know, when we're talking about the counselors, I think that those are things that are, I kudos that we have had great opportunities. For what I love about is that they keep the same counselor from 9th grade all the way through 12th.
Yeah, that really does make a huge difference. You know, the counselors have worked, our counselors K-12 have worked really hard at looking at how do we improve our program. This year we have a full-time counselor in every elementary building, which has been a great help, because we have a number of kids that just need sometimes some extra help navigating the world they have, and so that's made a big difference. And our high school staff really has been working hard at how do you best prepare kids to handle the social emotional issues that happen in high school, the academic, the vocational planning. There's all kinds of things coming at kids their junior and senior year.
Oh, yes. No, there are.
Yeah.
They are. We're living it at the Legion's house. But
Yeah.
I think kids are going to be like, my mom just said that on live TV.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, but those are exciting times. And I think that, we're preparing. And one thing that I think is absolutely amazing is that we're taking and providing those opportunities. We understand that not everybody's going to learn the same way. Not everybody is going to be on the same track to go to a four-year university.
Exactly.
And so we have the programs and with the community college, such as the welding program, numerous success.
Yes, and we're continuing to look at more of those academies that would help kids because my goal is that every student would be able to walk out of Muscatine High School and either be able to go to a four-year school or go to a two-year school or some other training, or be prepared to go into the workforce above the starting area, that they would all come out with some certification. The workplace is more demanding. Yeah, high school diploma is not the opening to great success now. It is the opening to the next level of learning. Yeah. And so our folks have been working really hard on that, and we do have a lot of different opportunities because every kid is different. I have 4 kids. Every one of them is a little bit different. Each of them had their different kinds of challenges, and I think for most families, that's the reality.
Oh yeah, we have it.
Yeah,
we have it. We have it. And yes, and my son's taking advantage of some of the great classes that have happened. My daughter, she's very much into the AP, so we've seen both sides of it. And both of them are going to walk out the door when they graduate from high school with some college credit under their belt too, which is a great opportunity.
It really is.
And allows for them to say, hey, I've already gotten 20 hours or some, it all depends on what it is, but I think those are good things that are going on. All right, so we've talked about changes, we've talked about buildings, we've talked about high school, we've talked about all these connecting things. Oh my goodness, what else can we talk about, Jerry? What else do you got?
I have one other thing that we are going to be implementing next semester. We're constantly looking to make sure, how do we make sure our buildings are as safe as possible? Unfortunately, we live in a world today where security is sometimes almost as important as the learning that goes on, and kids need to feel safe. We're going to be using a new system so that any visitor into the building, the first time they come in, we'll scan their driver's license or another type of government photo ID. That will check against the database of folks that should not be around kids. And then after that, when a parent comes in, or it might be a vendor, it may be a repairman, that they would go in, they would enter their information. A badge will come out, a paper badge with their picture on it, indicate who they are. So that teachers in the building will know this person should be there. Kids hopefully will feel more secure knowing that there's somebody I've never seen before, but it's okay. And hopefully parents will feel more secure that we have a really good accounting of who's in our buildings.
Absolutely.
And while nothing is foolproof, we are going to continue to work to make sure that our buildings are as safe as possible, and the people that are going to be around our kids are appropriate for that.
I know there's other school districts in the area. Clinton, they just announced this past week, the Clinton community schools are going that way. I think Davenport's already
Davenport has used it for a while.
I know Davenport North has it.
Yeah.
I have my official badge, but I know
when
I work there,
Yeah.
but Davenport North has it.
Yeah.
And, it's a layer. I think that we need to be knowing who's coming in our buildings.
Well, and the other advantage it gives us, we're hoping that will give us a much better job of being able to track volunteers and recognize volunteers. We have so many people in this community that are there and doing things for our kids in our buildings, and so this will be nice. I think we'll have a system that will be able to recognize that.
That would be nice, because we do. I mean, yes, we have teachers, we have counselors, we have administration, we have we have the janitors, we have the bus drivers, but it takes volunteers to
Yes,
make
it
all
does.
this work, and we're not just talking the Friday night concession stands,
Right.
which, yes, we've all done those. But, we're also talking about the reading opportunities,
Yep.
and I used to always say I felt bad because during my kids' elementary years, I couldn't always be there to help with the reading, but my friend of mine said, don't worry, I read with your kids every day, but you're being the Cub Scout mom at night. I'm like, you betcha, so.
We all do what we can do.
you
If
know,
everybody does what they can do, their little part, it'll
It'd be
better.
an amazing situation,
Exactly.
which, we just keep going and going and going. And the ultimate goal is we want to see these kids succeed in our community.
Exactly.
And making sure from all the different needs. So it sounds like we're working on it. As always, we always have to keep working on
Exactly.
it. Nothing's ever going to be
it's
perfect.
never ending.
That's right. Well, Dr. Reeby, thank you so much for joining.
What a great night. Thank you for the
It's been-
invitation.
Well, you can thank Diana Broderson,
Okay.
Mayor Diana, for that. I'm just filling in tonight because she had something else come up, but which has been fun. I'm glad to get
I've
caught up.
appreciated it.
I
So,
haven't
yeah.
talked to you in a while,
Yeah,
so now we're
exactly.
caught up for a while.
There we go.
Well, before we end this evening, I just want to touch base that next week is Christmas and the following week is New Year's. So we will not be having our show, Our City, for the next 2 weeks. But on January 8th, Dave Ellis with Eagles and Ivory will be here, and Angie Johnson from Trinity Muscatine will be there. And before we end tonight, I just want to read a message from Mayor Diana Broderson. Oh, she did. Wonderful. Well, you didn't tell me that before we went on the air. Well, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to let Mayor Diana Broderson's message be said to our residents in the city of Muscatine. Thank you for joining me tonight on Our City.
Every one of you who took the time this past year to be a good neighbor. I know that many of you have volunteered your time to help an organization or an individual. You've given someone a ride, you've visited a sick friend, you've been kind to someone in need or in a stressful situation, or just said a prayer for someone. Muscatine is filled with people like you who give of themselves to make our city a better place, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm looking forward to 2019 as we continue to work together to make Muscatine an even greater city filled with caring, honest, and hardworking people. I'm proud to be your mayor, and I want nothing more than to work as hard as I can for each and every one of you. Please contact me if I can be of service to you in any way. Merry Christmas, Muscatine. You deserve it.
Our City with Mayor Diana Broderson replays on MPW Channel 9, Wednesday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. and Thursday at 7 a.m. Of course, we're live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook. Email us at ourcity@muscatineiowa.gov.